So my morning job at a warehouse, we're doing 9 hours, 7 days right now. Still coming home within an hour. I go out door dashing again. So the grind right now is pretty much nonstop, but I'm sticking with it because you've got to keep your eye on the ball. You have to keep your eyes on what motivates you. And right now, what that is mainly, my girlfriend's uncle, who I mentioned before, has some health problems. They've grown worse. She has to keep going back and forth. She spends most of the week over there helping him because she herself is on disability, but she was a nurse, so she knows how to take care of somebody that has health problems. We want him to be able to move in with us, but my rusty little old trailer built in the 60s just won't do. There's not enough space. It's not handicapped accessible at all, which he needs nowadays. So we need a house, and before we can do that, I need to keep grinding to make that happen, to bring those numbers up on loan applications, which even though we hope to get a USDA loan, still it's going to be expensive. It's still going to be a lot of money up front. So I have to keep going. I have to first build up that emergency fund, of course, at least $2,000. Eventually 3 to 6 months of income, but for right now, $2,000 is the goal. So I keep fluctuating on that around 5 to 700. But I've got to keep working. I've got to budget tighter. I've got to make it happen. There's too much depending on me. But at the same time, you do have to take care of your own physical and mental health. So you have to, if you're doing what I'm doing, schedule a little time off, even though I felt immensely guilty the other day just for not door dashing. And after having dinner at Uncle Bud's and bringing my girlfriend Jennifer home for the weekend, just didn't DoorDash that night, and we just stayed home and watched TV. But I still felt this little bit of nagging guilt that I wasn't out there still grinding and making money. But sometimes you got to stop just for a moment at least and just breathe and just kind of reset, because I'm very, very, otherwise very crunched for time right now. Like, I didn't even know if I'd have time to record this week. I couldn't really, busy weekend. I couldn't really find time to go sit somewhere. So I'm just having to record on the way back from Walmart to pick up some cat food. So you've just got to do what you've got to do to maintain your consistency. If you set goals, if you set things that you say you're going to do, for example, I'm going to upload at least one video a week, regardless of if anybody watches or not. So I couldn't find time to do that, so I just squeezed it in while I was doing something else, even though I'm sure this is going to be really shaky and the audio is going to be terrible, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm going to put it out there anyway, and just, if nobody cares, nobody cares. But like I said, you've got to be consistent. You can't let yourself get discouraged, because trust me, that happens to me plenty, because I've started to do things like this over the years, and the grind gets to you a little bit. You feel like you're running full sprint just to stay in the same spot, but you can't let things like that shut you down. You've got to, if you've got people that rely on you, you've got to keep going, and you have also never forget yourself to rely on, because I'd like to be able to retire one day, and people in my position tend not to do that. At my morning job at the warehouse, we have a lady in my department that is almost 80 years old, and she is still going at it, coming in there every day doing the same job that 20, 30-year-old kids come in there and do. But she's also very lucky that her mind and body are still capable of that, and I could very well not be that capable at her age, so I need to be prepared for that. So for now, it's just a matter of grind, get that emergency fund. Let's get us into a decent house. Then I can start looking into investing, small businesses that I could put my own time into without having to punch a clock. But in order to make that goal, you might have to start out grinding hard, and that's definitely the phase that I'm in right now. And if you've done it too, or you're doing it right now, you know how difficult it can be, but it's only as difficult as you make it, as if you don't just dwell on the things you'd rather be doing and just tell yourself, this is what I'm doing right now. I've got people depending on me, and you can't pour into somebody else's cup if your own cup is empty. So I've got to keep going, because I'd like for mine to be overflowing so that the people around me have everything they need without having to worry about it. And I fully believe I can be that guy. I can do that, because I'll give people a shirt off my back. I'm already that kind of person. But if you don't have any shirts, how are you going to do that? I mean, so it's not about greed. It's not about having, piles of money just for yourself. It's about security. It's about your family, the people you care about. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to grind, if you're going to go, do it for that purpose, and come up with the systems and the structures to make sure that time's not wasted. Make sure you budget. Make sure you have clear goals in mind, and that you're setting things aside to work toward those goals. Because just, a lot of people might not think so, but I don't think hard work by itself is necessarily a virtue. It's hard work for a purpose. It's hard work toward a goal. That's the real virtue. So whatever it is that keeps you going, just keep your eyes on that and keep doing what you got to do. But make sure, even if it's rare, at least once in a while, stop and breathe a little bit. Because I have been at times getting discouraged. Like I said, you feel sometimes like you're just go full sprint, but you look around and you're running in circles. You're still in the same spot. And that comes from not having intention, not having a plan. And even a bad plan is better than no plan, because I don't know if what I have in mind right now is necessarily working long term. But I'm going to keep doing it and keep tweaking it, and eventually I will succeed with what I want to do, because there's no other option. I've lived, or there is another option, but it's the option I've been living through, where I just work, and get nowhere. So work hard. Do definitely work hard, whatever that means for you with whatever you do, but work hard with intentions, work hard with plans, work hard toward something, and get out of the week to week, the survival mentality. Because that'll kill you. You'll just, as I said, you'll run full sprint in the same spot until you eventually keel over. And, that's not going to be me. And I'm almost home. Thank you to the 2 or 3 people, whoever watches this. Like and subscribe if you don't mind. Help me out a little bit. Try to get this out to a couple more people. And until next time, make your paycheck work for you. We can do this.